Hello, and thanks for tuning into This Week in Hearing. Today I have with me Xinke Liu, the co-founder of Orka, that's O-R-K-A, a new entrant in the direct consumer hearing aid space with remote care. Xinke, welcome and thanks for joining me. Please tell us about yourself and how you and your co-founder, Ben Sun, chose to start a hearing aid company.
Thank you so much for having me, Andy. So, hi there, everyone. My name is Xinke Liu, and I've been a long-time hearing aid user. I actually used hearing aid for about 7 years before switching to cochlear implant. So, in 2018, my co-founder Ben Sun found me, and at that time he was witnessing his grandmother struggling with hearing aids, and so he was a product engineer at Apple back then. So he thought this shouldn't be it. Like these products is ought to be like better, like more user friendly and better to use and more accessible. So he convinced me, Chauncey, and Linkai, our other two co-founders, to join him on this journey to build a hearing product from scratch. So it has been about almost 5 years now, 4 to 5 years.
And where were you at the time? You were studying in the United States at that time, is that correct?
Yes, I was doing my master's degree in Palo Alto. So that's why I was in Silicon Valley.
Okay. And why do you think this is the right time to start Orka? Why now? And what makes the circumstances of today more fortunate for starting a new hearing aid company?
Well, for me, the choice was rather no-brainer because my experience with hearing loss span over like half of my lifetime. So it's been 15 years now. But for my co-founders, they think it's a good time to start building a hearing aid from scratch. It is because of the I think it's like the converging point of technology that we have available now, and also the because of the OTC by then in 2017, President Trump has already signed the OTC bill. It wasn't. I don't know how that thing worked, but we already know about the OTC bill by then. We know it's going to be in effect in 2020. And at that time, with the hearables, AirPods, and more TWS hearables come to the market, we do see that the general chip is becoming more powerful, and it seems really promising of carrying the AI and deep learning. Anyway, it does seem like a really good starting point. It does seem like a good time to start doing the thing we're doing now. And personally, for me, it was more like a grudge I've been holding too long to the industry. Like it has always been a very frustrating journey for me, navigating the hearing aid products, the journey. So when Ben asked me if I wanted to join, I said, of course, because it really felt like fate calling at some point, because I've always wanted a better product, a better customer service, a better like customer journey. So I've kind of like been waiting for long. I mean, I remember when I was in undergrad, I saw that Google was trying to make the Google Glass, and it seemed promising in carrying out the live transcript. But we're having that now already, like with our Zooming, like we have the live transcript. But back then in college, because I was struggling, I really hope like some big companies like Google or Apple would like maybe find a solution for people with hearing loss, like live transcript or something else, or maybe just what they are sort of doing now. but I've been waiting long enough at that point in 2018. So I thought, yeah, I really shouldn't be waiting anymore. I should, just start to doing it and maybe sort of like scratch my own itch. That's what I thought back then, like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of factors really converged in the US, the coming of the OTC legislation, the technical capability, and your own personal journey. That's
Right.
interesting. So all the forces came together. Now, we've talked about the OTC legislation in the US, and I know part of your experience and your desire to create a different journey for people also comes from your experience in China. Where do you plan to serve? What markets is Orka serving today, and what markets do you intend to serve in the future?
Well, right now we're only serving the US market. Well, in the future, we do plan to serve more parts of the world, like China, definitely. But we make the market decision as it is right now because United States is a better place to start because the customers are a little bit more experienced in the United States. I mean, the market penetration rate is low all across the world. It's like 30% in the United States, but in China, it's like 6% only. So it's really low in China at this point. So if we want to serve China right now, that would need a lot of efforts in like consumer education and everything like that. So right now we're only serving the United States because the customers in the United States are more familiar with the products, with the category. So you guys actually know what you want, what you're looking for. So you would not. So it's something like managing customer expectation. Like you already know what the product is, what you want from it. It's easier that way for us to serve the customers. And it's also a mutual relationship, I guess, because for a young company like us, we need customers who can give us like very useful feedback so we can use this feedback and to improve our products in the same time.
Okay. It's interesting that you say people in the United States know what they want. We're going to explore that a little bit in the context of how the Orka hearing aid is designed. And I'll say that I tried the hearing aid, and I can see you've put a lot of effort into developing an effective solution for those who want to purchase hearing aids online. And I also see it. You're welcome. I also see it in line with what you just said about people knowing what they want, that the design of the Orka reflects different ways of thinking about how a direct-to-consumer product can be successful. And I'd like to break that down a little bit, starting with the form factor, because in this space, most people are designing either the RIC form factor or earbud form factor, and you've chosen the RIC. What in your mind are the pros and cons of designing a RIC hearing aid versus an earbud hearing aid?
Well, actually, when we're thinking about the form factor, at first we did consider going the earbud route. But after doing some research, we realized we don't want to force a disruptive change on the customer. I mean, we want the innovation to be subtle so the customers would not have to worry about like the social cues, because with the earbud form factor, it's sending a message to other people saying that I don't want to talk to you right now. That's the same with the earbud. And actually, the cons of the RIG style is it's actually more difficult to develop a RIG style hearing aid because it's more complicated when it comes to design and manufacture. But we do want our customers to feel comfortable both in wearing them, and the RIG style is more comfortable if you want to wear it for like 10 or 12 hours a day. So that's why we come down to the decision. We want to put customers first, not technology first.
Okay. And so then what I'm hearing is that you felt there's less stigma wearing the RIC design in social settings than earbuds. And
Yeah,
that also the RIC is more comfortable for very long wearing times.
right.
Okay. And I know one of the important design considerations you made was to use a general purpose processor chip rather than a dedicated hearing aid chip. Tell me why you made that decision. Were there any compromises associated with that decision, and why did you choose to do so?
Sure, absolutely. So the thing with the specialized chip, it has a long history in the hearing aid industry. It's great for power saving, and the specialized chips are designed specifically for hearing aid use, so that it's extremely efficient. But the downside of specialized chip is that because these chips are made specifically for hearing aid use, the market for it, as you can see, is not so big, not as big as that of like Earbuds, TWS. The thing with that is they have a really slow iteration cycle. So these specialized chips are improved or change like every probably like 4 to 5 years. But the thing with general chip is that they are iterated on a like cycle of about 6 to 12 months. With the general chips, the downside is obvious as well. Like it's not as power efficient as that of specialized chips yet, but general chips are more versatile and they're used in various products, and it's easier for us to try different features if we want. And also the thing with general chips is that you can still send upgrades to the users when they got the products home. I mean, with specialized chips, most of the functions are defined before being manufactured. So there's not much you can change about it after being manufactured. But the thing with general chips that you can still make some modifications to the features, and you can still send like upgrades to the customers over there. So it's more versatile in that way. But the thing, as the downside is, as I mentioned, is the power. It's not as power efficient as that of the specialized chips made hearing aids. Just not yet. So with our products, you only get like 12 hours per charge. But to offset that problem, we do have the charging case as a portable charger. So we also get this charge boost option. So if you put your hearing aids back into the charging case for like 10 minutes, you get an extra 90 minutes of hearing. So I think that's enough for our customers to go through the day. But I do understand it's not for everyone. And also, I think the customers sometimes a little bit too concerned about the power usage, because I've tracked my both my hearing aid usage and my cochlear implant usage for the year, and the average time I use them is about 7.6 hours a day. I take them off a lot during the daytime, just to have some quiet time to myself. And we did do some consumer behavioral research, and some people do take their hearing aids off during the day, just to relax a bit. I don't know if you have that same experience.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because when I was working for Knowles in the office every day, I would get 16 or 18 hours of wear. If I looked at the statistics in my app, it was always around 16 hours because I
Oh,
was in the
really?
office all day, so I never took them out, and I would wear them when I went home. And if I went out, I would get I'd get up early and do some things, and I would put them in. I would also listen to podcasts or, that sort of thing. Do all my Zoom meetings through them. In fact, I'm listening to you through my hearing aids right now. So I was easily logging 16 hours, but now that I work from home with my own company, I'm the same like you. If my first meeting isn't until 10 in the morning, I don't put them in until 10 in the morning. So I understand, how I understand that way of working. As you say, the present state of processor development isn't quite there to support all day life. But in exchange for that, you get the flexibility and the over-the-air updating and faster design cycle times. So that makes a
Right.
lot of sense. And we'll talk about it more a little bit later, but of course, that's only going to improve over time. But
Sure.
I also want to talk a bit about the user experience because you're a direct-to-consumer product. Lead me through the whole customer journey from the moment the customer learns about Orka and visits the website. How does the customer journey progress until they're using hearing aids?
Yeah, sure. So right now, when customer come to our website, they can do a hearing test on our website because some people are not sure if our product is right for them. So there's this hearing test, web-based hearing test online, but that's for the customers to find out if Orca is right for them at this point. And they can go see order our products. And right now we offer 21-day free try-on program that is absolutely their money down. So they can just try our products. So after they order the products, they are asked to schedule an appointment with our audiologist. In that way, we can prepare the customer and find out like this product is really for them. I mean, we really don't want to waste the customer's time or in a way that because some people when if they are trying out the product for the first time and they don't like it, or they would say maybe that's what all hearers are like, and they would probably give up on that point or just postpone their hearing journey for another several years. We don't want that to happen. And so we strongly advise our customers to schedule the appointment with our customer service team or with our audiologist even before they receive our products. And after they receive our products, there is a quick start guide in the box that could lead the customer through the whole journey. But if you don't want to navigate or the process yourself, you can also schedule an unboxing appointment with our audiologist. In that way, there's someone to guide you through the whole process. So they are there to help you set up the Bluetooth connection and everything else. But if you want to do that, that's okay as well, because the point is we want users to play with the products and to just try them out, use it, and carefree. But if you do schedule the appointment with our audiologist, you can, as you have tried with our hearing aid, you had that in situ hearing test. And according to Andy, our hearing test results is close to your prescription results. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, that when I ran the hearing test on my own, like I would with a self-fitting hearing aid, it came out pretty close. But what you're saying is you're not encouraging people to self-fit them, even though the app is capable. You'd much prefer them to work online with one of your audiologists. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, right now, Orca is not going self-fit just yet. I mean, you can definitely play with it, but we would strongly advise our customer to get an appointment with our audiologist, because the thing with hearing loss is that oftentimes we don't know what we are missing out on. So when there's a professional to guide you through the whole process, there's a better chance that people can get the most out of our products. I mean, the audiologist is there to tell the customer like what to expect in the first day or months and maybe the first 6 months. So in that way, the customers can. In that way, we're trying to ease our customers into the hearing journey. So we don't want anyone to just like try them for 3 to 5 days and think, this is not for me, so just give up on it, or maybe just store it in the drawer. Or it would actually be better if they don't want it and send it back to us, because in that way the customers are not wasting any money. So we don't want anyone to just buy our products and not use it. We're not going that way. So that's why we have this remote audiology team here to guide the customers through the whole journey.
Okay, so I could order them with the 21-day trial and begin the onboarding journey immediately. And so even before the return period is over, I've spoken with an audiologist. They've helped me get it set up. They've helped me fit the hearing aids to my hearing loss profile, and I can have some time to get experience with the hearing aids even before the 21 days are finished. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So right now we have only 21 days of free trial, is because we found that if people want to keep it, they would decide, actually maybe like 2 weeks in, they already know what they want. But if they are like, I don't want to use this, maybe like 3 or 4 days after the trial started, they would give up on that point. So right now, we think the 21 days trial is right for both our customers and Orca at this stage.
Okay, and then assuming they decide to keep the hearing aids, they're satisfied with the initial experience. Tell me about continuing care options. How does it work?
So the thing is, in the past, if you go out to a restaurant, a dining restaurant, and think, my hearing aid is not working well, but I can't tell like what's not going on well. And maybe before you make a mental note and try to remember to tell your audiologist when your next appointment with them coming up, that usually would take like weeks or even months. For me, so right now for our customers, they don't have to wait that long to get it adjusted. They can just call our remote audiology team, even right from the restaurant. They can describe it to the audiologist, like what's going on. I mean, because I think the thing with customers is that not everyone can describe their problem like in the accurate way. They would say, this doesn't sound right, but it really needs the professionals to like kind of like step by step and ask people, how is this not sounding right? If I put it this way, do you think that's what you're hearing right now? And that's how the communication goes. So now we want our customers to get help whenever they want it. So it's actually 7/24 customer service on our side. So hopefully that will make things easier for customers, for them to get the most out of it.
Okay, so you have audiologists in the United States who are on call 24/7.
Right.
And is that an extra charge service? Is there a limited time?
No. Everything comes free with the products.
Okay, so as long as I own the hearing aid, I have access to that service.
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. And I gather then, since you've chosen deliberately not to go for self-fitting because you want people to be under an audiologist care. And I suppose then that informs the decision to register as a classic prescription hearing aid rather than an over-the-counter hearing aid. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But that's just for now. I mean, Orca, we are totally in our support for OTC legislation. I think it's such a great thing. I mean, the customers in general will be taking all the advantage of more options, more access to different kinds of products. And I think it's okay if they just want to try different products from different brands and until they find the right one. But right now for Orca, I think at this point, not going self-fit is just trying to give a better experience for our customers.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense, and I completely understand your logic there. Of course, you can be a self-fit hearing aid and still offer backup support from an audiologist too.
Right.
But I understand your approach. Now, this is a question related specifically to the U.S. market, and that was, since you're doing remote audiology telecare, how difficult was it to understand and meet the various state requirements for telehealth in the United States? Because it can be a bit of a difficult environment to work in. So how difficult was that for you in order to be able to establish telehealth throughout the United States and understand the rules that go with it?
Well, right now we have a legal, in-house legal to administer and to navigate through that the different regulation in different states. So, and the thing about a young company is that there's not much room and there's not as many customers right now. So we're doing okay in terms of different state and different regulations right now.
Oh, okay. So in other words, what you're saying is that the different state regulations weren't a big impediment for a young company such as yourself to enter this market.
Just not yet.
Okay, not yet, because you're not serving so much of the area yet, in other words.
Right. And we also have a legal team in-house to help us through that process. So we're not worrying too much about that yet.
Okay. We talked about general chips, and I heard Ben Sun talk about general chips in a different podcast he did. And, we understand where the situation is today, but what is your thinking about the future? How soon do you think it will be before general purpose chips have the same functionality and power efficiency as a hearing aid chip? And how do you think that's going to affect the hearing aid market in the future when general purpose chips can do the same job?
I think in that sense, when our projection is about 3 to 4 years. I mean, I'm not an engineer myself, but I did a lot of research, and our co-founders and our engineers at Orka told me about that. So they did the projection. So it's about 3 to 4 years. And what I think is, in the future, people would have more access from start to end, and the how do I put it? The earbud form or the OTC form of hearing aids would be in abundant sort. People before, if you wanted to try out hearing aids, you will really wait a long time. But right now, with more earbuds or with AirPods, and more just phone apps, people could try it out very fast. If they think, if they suspect, oh, I think my husband have some hearing problem, or I think my grandma probably need one, I can just give them my AirPods or just earbuds, and for them to try out the hearing aid function that's available on these products. And if the earbuds and the AirPods thing are not enough to serve them, that could lead them quickly into the next phase, that is professional hearing aids products. And beyond that, there is cochlear implants as well, which is what I'm using now. So in the future, I think the thing about OTC general chips and everything involved is that the users would go a more smooth journey from earbuds to hearing aids, and if necessary beyond. And that will make things easier for the customers. I mean, the thing with me, maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience, because I don't pay visit to the audiologist. I mean, even today, the last time I went to the audiologist was like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't like that. I just don't like that. I don't like spending like 90 minutes there and have to reschedule their appointment, maybe just in 3 months or 6 months. So I just skip them all. So in the future, I do want the journey to adopting hearing aids is much easier for the customers. So I think that's where the technology is leading us to a better customer experience.
Okay, so better customer experience and also broader accessibility seems to be what you're saying is the future. Okay. And that's actually a really good conversation to have, considering it's World Hearing Day, as we have this conversation, because the WHO's theme for this year's World Hearing Day is ear and hearing care for all. So if you look beyond today, where you're servicing just the United States, how do you anticipate that the solutions you're developing and will develop in the future can be applicable in underserved areas of the world, where people live, for example, in rural areas and do not have access to an audiologist? Do you see your solutions being able to play a role in getting hearing care adopted sooner on a global basis?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it may not be a solution like for all. That's not how it works. But we do think remote audiology will be able to serve more people wherever they live. I mean, that's the same thing as probably that's also applicable in other areas of medicine, like the surgical robots or something like that. I think it's the same thing. Like, even for people in the rural area, they can still schedule the online appointment with professionals, with audiologists. So that would serve them all right. And yeah, I think it will definitely be helpful in that way.
Okay, very good. Well, this has been a really interesting conversation, Xinke. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you.
How can people learn more about Orka, and how can people reach out to you personally if they like?
So you can just Google Orka hearing aids. It's ORKA. Actually, I want to say something about the name, because I coined it Orka.
Okay.
Because I'm proud of it. So because I think the thing with hearing aids is that when you have hearing loss and you don't have any hearing devices, even the smallest task may be very frustrating, like getting coffee at Starbucks. So I want customers and myself to have a control over life. I think the thing with hearing is that it gives you a sense of control, like, over life. So I track the etymology of like energy and light, mostly energy in different languages. So I found Orka in Icelandic, and it means energy, energetic. And we tested it with some friends in the United States, and they all responded really well to it because it's the same sound of Orca, and we all love that creature. So that's how we landed on Orka, ORKA. And so if you just Google Orca hearing aids and Google, or you can find me on LinkedIn, it's Xinke Liu. Hopefully, and you will tag my name so people can find me easily. Xinke Liu from Orca on LinkedIn, or you can just email me. It's xinke@hiorca.com.
Well, we'll make sure both of those are in the show notes.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I appreciate you telling the story of the naming of the hearing aid, because my own experience, actually China figures into my own experience, because pre-pandemic, I would travel to China quite often, usually in the Shenzhen area. And I would be gone for a couple of weeks at a time. And because I don't speak Mandarin, people would speak English to me, at different levels of fluency and different dialects. And by the end of the 2 weeks, I would be really, really tired. And I just thought, because these are long trips, working all day, going out to dinner with a customer or business partner at night. And by the end of the trip, I would be very, very tired. And this is in the period before I got hearing aids myself. And the first time I did one of those trips after getting my hearing aids, I had so much more energy. Because my hearing loss progressed slowly, I didn't realize how much energy it costs to understand people, especially overseas when people are speaking English differently and you're concentrating harder to understand. And so energy, I think, is a great name, because what getting hearing aids myself gave me was more energy, more than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I think I met you. I've seen you before in Beijing. Did you come to Beijing like in 2019?
I probably would have been in Beijing around that time too. I can't recall specifically anymore. Anything that happened before the pandemic starts to feel like a distant memory. But
I know. But I do share your experience with like trying to hear people, particularly when you are traveling abroad, is really energy consuming. I mean, I had that experience. I only realized how bad my hearing ability was after I started school in the United States, because I didn't know back in China I was constantly like liberating. I didn't realize that. And because in China, with different dialects, we always have subtitles on when you go to movie theater or when you're just trying to watch television. But after I went to school in the United States, I realized, my lip reading just doesn't work anymore. So I had to focus really hard on what people are saying. And that's really exhausting. So I do share your experience on that.
in
So
complete reverse.
I guess the thing is, when people think they're hearing, they can still go by with the hearing ability they have. At that point, they could just like travel abroad and find out, no, it's not working. Because when you are at home, you often fail to notice how bad it is.
Yeah, that's really quite true. Of course, you also notice it when you're in loud situations like restaurants.
Right.
And you have more and more difficulty hearing people. So I think that's a great way to end this conversation. Really, the gift of energy that treating your hearing loss gives you. So yeah, thanks for sharing that in relationship to the company name.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to everyone for listening to this edition of This Week in Hearing.